There are two tools that the House Republicans have at their disposal, even in a divided government. The power of the purse, cut the budget of the FBI, take away that fancy new headquarters they want. But perhaps the more consequential one is reforming or ending the Section 702 FISA powers that allows Americans' phone and other data to be accessed without a warrant. You have a good sense of the temperature of your old colleagues on the Hill. Of course, you worked at the Pentagon, you worked at the National Security Council. You understand the whole field. Yeah. Your thoughts on what will happen to the FISA powers that the FBI has only for a few short months?
Look, I'm in the minority on this one, I'm probably going to say, because America has been shown, as you just reported, how the FBI abused the FISA process, unlawfully collected information on 250,000 people. That's just in the last year.
Right.
Section 702, I'll tell you from a terrorism standpoint, counterterrorism standpoint, is an essential, valuable manhunting tool. We used it properly to track down high-value targets and run terrorism prosecutions and investigations. But it has been so massively abused, as you put it, and I've been working with the House Intel Committee on it. I don't think there is the will to reauthorize 702. They are not getting the concessions they need from DOJ and FBI to fix it. I don't think the Democrats are really helping. And I think the overcorrection, which is an unfortunate reality when you expose such massive level of corruption, is what people are calling for. And that's why I think you're going to see its repeal rather than a giant reform.
Wow, that will be an extraordinary moment. I want to dig a little deeper into this because you ran our counterterrorism operations from the National Security Council, who played a big role in getting rid of terrorists like General Soleimani in Iran. You know what we need to do and the capabilities of the enemy. If Republicans do that because the Democrats simply won't engage on the right type of reforms, will we be less safe when it does expire?
Yeah, because like Alan Dershowitz said, and like you've said, there's so many great Americans serving, be it at the FBI, DOD, CIA, IC, NSA, what have you. They use these tools for good. They use these tools to protect this country, safeguard our nation, and attack our adversaries when appropriate. Without those tools, it's not like there's something else we can just replace it with. But because of the years-long abuses, and these started with Comey and even go all the way back to Bob Mueller himself, they have millions of inappropriate, probably unlawful searches from the 702 database and the query system. And so that's just gotten to a point where people in Congress are sick of it. And I understand that. And the knee-jerk reaction is, well, we're going to deprive you, the government gangsters, of this tool. But in reality, what you're doing is you're punishing some of the people in government who abused it, but you're punishing America's safety because so many used it properly because you want to get the few. And that's just not the right approach. There can be severe limitations on 702 and its query system, but I'm not sure Congress has the will to entertain that.
Those two gentlemen that showed up in my driveway in March of 2017 that tipped me off to the abuses of the Russia collusion told me that night the reason they came to me was they feared that if the abuses got worse, that they might one day lose these tools that they said were going to be important to catch terrorists and spies. I think back now, they may have been right. We may be heading into that moment that they greatest feared